Security forces in Syria and local Druze gunmen deployed inside the Damascus suburb of Jaramana. According to Associated Press, it is a suburb where days of clashes between pro-Syrian government gunmen and fighters who belong to the Druze minority sect left dozens dead or injured. At a later stage, heavy weapons will be handed over to authorities. As part of the deal, forces from the Defense Ministry will deploy around Jaramana without going inside. On Thursday, Syria's Druze spiritual leader harshly criticized Syria's government for what he called an unjustified genocidal attack on the minority community. Early Friday, the Druze religious leadership said the community is part of Syria and refuses to break away from the country, adding that the role of the state should be activated in the southern province of Sweida and authorities should be in control of the Sweida-Damascus highway. Meanwhile, Israel's Air Force struck near Syria's presidential palace early Friday after warning Syrian authorities not to march toward villages inhabited by members of the Druze sect in southern Syria. Friday's strike was Israel's second on Syria this week, and attacking an area close to the presidential palace appears to send a strong warning to Syria's new leadership that is mostly made up of Islamist groups led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham.
ممنوع بيقول لك انا وزاره دفاع انا مجموعه فلانيه ممنوع اعطينا تعليمات ممنوع لا يغادر ابدا هو يتعامل تمام خلينا نحط مجموعه بالعباس يلا استعين بالله روح حرك. اللي حصل انه صار اتفاق مع اهالي منطقه جرمانه بتسليم السلاح للدوله، والكل حيخضع تحت مظله الدوله، وحيدخل ان شاء الله تعالى مجهز ارتال الامن العام للدخول للمنطقه لتامين المنطقه بشكل جيد، الانتشار ونشر حواجز طوق كامل حول جرمانه، عدم دخول مجموعات تخريبيه او حدا بده يخرب لجرمانه.
الحمد لله يعني إدارة الأمن العام كان عندها وعي كافي إنه هي تحسن توجه صورة صحيحة للمجتمع وللناس إنه لا نحن جايين لحمايتكم، نحن جايين لبسط الأمن والأمان.
The British military launched airstrikes with the United States targeting Yemen's Houthi rebels, officials said early Wednesday, their first attack in Washington's new intense campaign targeting the Iran-backed group. According to Associated Press, the United Kingdom offered a detailed explanation for launching the strike, in a departure from the US, which has offered few details about what it says are more than 1,000 targets it has hit since beginning its campaign on March 15. The campaign, called Operation Rough Rider, has been targeting the rebels as the Trump administration negotiates with their main benefactor, Iran, over Tehran's rapidly advancing nuclear program. The UK Defense Ministry described the site attacked as a cluster of buildings, used by the Houthis to manufacture drones of the type used to attack ships in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, located some 15 miles south of Sana'a. Royal Air Force Typhoon FGR-4S took part in the raid, dropping Paveway 4 guided bombs, the ministry added. The strike was conducted after dark, when the likelihood of any civilians being in the area was reduced yet further, the ministry said. The British offered no information on the damage done in the strike, nor whether they believed anyone had been killed. The US military Central Command didn't acknowledge the strike. This action was taken in response to a persistent threat from the Houthis to freedom of navigation, UK Defence Secretary John Healey said. A 55% drop in shipping through the Red Sea has already cost billions, fueling regional instability and risking economic security for families in the UK. The Houthis reported several strikes around Yemen's capital, Sana'a, which the group has held since 2014. Other strikes hit around Sada. The British have taken part in airstrikes alongside the US since the Biden administration began its campaign of strikes targeting the Houthis back in January 2024. However, this new strike is the first to see the British involved in the campaign under US President Donald Trump. The joint U.K./U.S. strike follows an alleged U.S. airstrike on Monday that hit a prison holding African migrants, killing at least 68 people and wounding 47 others. The U.S. military said it was investigating. On April 18, an American strike on the Ras Isa fuel port killed at least 74 people and wounded 171 others in the deadliest known attack of the U.S. campaign. The American strikes have drawn controversy in the United States over Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's use of the unclassified signal messaging app to post sensitive details about the attacks. Early Thursday, Hegseth directly threatened Iran in a message on the social platform X. Message to Iran: "We see your lethal support to the Houthis. We know exactly what you are doing," he wrote. "You know very well what the US military is capable of and you were warned. You will pay the consequence at the time and place of our choosing." New footage has emerged of Russian soldiers using old vehicles and motorcycles to move along the front line. The soldiers are moving in buggies, UAZs, and other vehicles that have been damaged in the fighting and have missing parts. This makes them easier targets for Ukrainian drones. It should be noted that the use of civilian vehicles by Russian soldiers on the front line has increased. This is largely due to the lack of armored vehicles.